Mga ganyan.
Malayo na. Eh, yung mga maliliit na letra na hindi mo na rin nababasa.
Ay, hindi po. Hindi ko po. Pag ganun po, pag mga babasahin ko, talagang lalapit talaga po para mabasa.
Ano yung grade ng mata mo? Anong grade? Yan.
Kung nasa grade naman po is talagang malabo. Pero kung pagdating sa classification, talagang limited lang po.
Kasi, di ba, may ba kayong for example, 1,000. Diba?
Opo, nasa range po ng mga 800, ganun po.
Mataas talaga yung talagang visually impaired na yun. Kasi ako, 150 na ako, kaya nakakatawa.
Kasi pag ano din naman po, pag classification is, sa classify, dapat, hindi siya, kahit magsuot ka ng salamin or wala, ganun, same pa rin yung vision mo.
Tama.
Okay, we're now starting. Mag-umpisa na tayo sa Pinoyathletics. So far, we're already live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. So good afternoon, Philippines. Good morning from this side of world here in Europe. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to another edition of Pinoy Athletics Track Talk with me, Archand Bagsit of the University of Physical Education in Budapest, Hungary, and also with my colleague, Andrew Perry, Level 3 Athletics Track Field Coach Association coach based in Australia. So we have a special guest this afternoon with us as a SEA Games champion for 4x100 meter relay, Archand Bagsit. Andrew?
Yeah, if we could just perhaps start by playing the slides. There's a bit of research plus a little bit of information, background information on the guest.
Yes, one moment. Okay.
Yeah. Just maybe the first two slides, because there's other stuff which has been saved for after the interview.
Yes, one moment. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're off.
Yep. Okay, so today our special guest is Archand Bagsit. Like there's a long list of medals he's won at the SEA Games from 2011 to 2017. 2 gold medals in the 4x4. The 2013 SEA Games champion in Myanmar. Also, a semi-finalist at the Asian Games in 2014. And also he's currently the record holder in the men's 4x1 with Eric Cray, Trenton Berham, and Anthony Lapena. Quite a long, extensive list of games medals. And obviously, as well, Bagsit is the Filipino male to win to carry on that, that splendid legacy of 400-meter quarter milers at the SEA Games, the winning tradition of 400-meter men. So after, Del Prado, Candelario, Jaime Raying, and Julius Neris, he's like the 5th guy to continue with that, winning streak at the SEA Games in the men's 400. If you could just flick to the next slide, Unal. Okay, so we're now looking at the aim for the 2021 Paralympics in Tokyo, the T12, which was explained earlier is for visual impairment. So looking at the stats on the last Olympics in 2016, the golds in the men's 100 was 10.97, 10.89 in the heats, 22.23 in the 200, and 48.67 in the 400. Bagsit's best times, we have, according to the IAAF, 10.6, 21.5, and 46.88. So, like with the best times, there is range within the times to, realistically have, medal chance in these events, possibly even a gold chance. I've just provided some links here to the to where I sourced some of this data. Yep. So you can flick off now, Ernal.
One moment.
Yep. Just exit the presentation because yeah, these are just for after the interview. Yeah. So if you just exit the
Yes.
slide.
Let's go on.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, just exit the PowerPoint.
Okay. So exit this one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We'll just
okay,
play these
so-
slides later.
yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions you'd like to go first, Ernal?
Of course, the benefit of everyone, of course, we would like to ask Archand, siguro para sa information din ng ating mga kasama online. So, tanongin din natin, although madalas na to, so paano ka nag-umpisa sa athletics, sa yung career sa athletics? Yun, so yun ang unang tanong, paano ka nagsimula?
Bali, dati nasa letran ako, nag-aaral ako, high school. Dati akong basketball player dati ng letran, junior. Then nag-try ako ng track and field dati kasi yung kapatid ko is track and field player din. Hurdler siya, for law. Then yun, nag-cross training lang ako. After that, ayun, parang dun nag-upisa lahat eh. Jumping pa lang ako noon eh. Tapos binigyan nila din ako ng sprint na 400 and 4x4 and 4x1. Tapos yun, lahat naman noon, lahat ng event na yun, lahat na gold ko tapos 2 silver. First time.
So far, sino yung coach na talagang naka-influence sa iyo? Yung talagang malaki ang na-contribute sa iyo bilang atleta ngayon sa athletics?
Marami sila eh. Kasi unang-una, hindi naman ako magiging athletics kung hindi din dahil sa mga coach ko sa letran, kala coach Benjamin Humangit, kay Jerry Atabay. Sila yung nag-recruit sa akin doon. Then after that, nung pagpasok ko ng national team, si Coach Ernie Candelario, ang first coach ko sa national team as able pa nun. Then, nag-transfer ako kay Coach Lerma Bulawitan. Yun na nag-umpisa na nag-gold ako since 2013 to 2016. Then after that, yun na, dire-diretso na siya.
Okay. Pwede magbigay ka ng at least 3 bagay na sa dapat ay taglayin ng isang athlete para maging mahusay siya sa experience. For example, sa experience mo, ano yung 3 values ng atleta na dapat sa tingin mo meron ng bawat atleta para sa ating mga aspiring athletes na nakikita?
Siguro disiplina, attitude din sa pagtitraining, saka goal nila kung anong gusto nilang makamit.
So far, sabi nga ni Andrew, dahil nga sa may chance ka na mag-qualify sa Olympics. So far, sa tingin mo, kung mabigyan ka ng pagkataon mag-qualify for Olympics, ano sa tingin mo yung gusto mong maiiwan na legacy sa athletics dito sa Pilipinas?
Siguro tuloy lang nila yung pangarap nila kasi hindi naman natatapos yun kung hindi din naman natin pagsisikapan.
Okay. Next question natin ay ano naman sa tingin mo yung 3 bagay na dapat na maibigay sa iyong pananaw sa isang atleta katulad mo? Kasi lagi natin sinasabing suporta. Pero specifically, para sa iyo, ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka-ideal na suportang yung gusto mo?
As ang athlete kasi, syempre, ang suporta, hindi lang naman sa sa financial, siguro kasama na rin yung pamilya mo, yung nagtitiwala sa'yo, saka yung coach mo rin na talagang malaking bagay na nagbibigay sa'yo ng tiwala.
Okay. Sa mga naging coaches mo, pwedeng magbigay ka rin ng at least 3 bagay na pinaka-importante mong natutunan nung kino-coach ka. For example, ni Coach Ben, Coach Ernie, Coach Lerma. Ano sa tingin mo yung mga katangian na natutunan mo sa kanila na talagang binavalue mo hanggang sa ngayon?
Siguro, yung una, wag kang train hard talaga kasi kung may gusto ka naman talaga, gagawin mo lahat eh. Pangalawa, siguro attitude. Basta pagdating sa mga training lang. After that, okay na kayo. Tapos yung siguro tiwala. Tiwala mo sa coach, tiwala mo sa ginagawa nyo, tiwala nyo sa isa't isa para may connection kayo.
Okay. Next question natin ay sa tingin mo yung may papayo mo sa lalo sa mga umidol sa'yo, ang dami, si Noel Ordonio, si Jat Santos, bilang isang atleta ng national team, ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka magandang katangian or value ng national athlete para mas maramdaman ng mga batang atleta kung paano dapat kanila bigyan ng pagkilala, ng attention. So sa tingin mo, ano yung attitude na dapat meron ng isang national athlete sa pakikitungo sa mga...
Siguro kung sa akin lang naman is syempre kung saan ka nagsimula, bumalik tanaw ka rin kahit papaano. Kasi hindi naman porket national team ka, biglang lalaki na lang yung ulo mo. Siguro kung yung mga tumutulong sa'yo, katulad yan, yung idol ko yan, si Jat. Kasi teammate ko rin yan dati sa Letran. Ayan ang tumutulong sa akin nun eh. Sila, mga teammate ko yan sa Letran, sila Noah Ordonio. Yung mga kahit simpleng bagay na yan, para sa akin, malaking bagay na yan eh. Mga suporta ng mga kaibigan mo, pamilya mo, coach mo. Siguro tiwala lang at i-enjoy nila lang kung ano yung meron kayo. Saka ang mahalaga naman is na kukuha mo yung goal mo paunti-unti, step by step.
Okay, sorry nawala yung connection ko. So katulad ng binanggit namin na kanina before ako nawala online. So yun, dapat maging humble tayo, tapos at the same time dapat alam natin kung ano yung ating pinanggalingan. Okay, next question, Archand. Ano sa tingin mo yung pinakamagandang bagay na dapat gawin para mas lalong ma-promote ang athletics sa Pilipinas, lalo sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa na hindi lamang tayo nakasalig sa usual na liga? Pero sa tingin mo, ano yung tingin mong dapat gawin para mas maging kilala at popular ang athletics bilang disiplina? Kasi sa Olympics, yan ang tinitingalang centerpiece event. Sa SEA Games at sa iba pang mga...
Siguro yung hindi naman tayo behind eh. Hindi lang siguro sa atin kasi dito sa Pilipinas, ang popular talaga kasi is basketball. Mga ganyan, mga team event. Pero siguro tayo naman, once na magkaroon tayo ng mga magandang pangalan, like kunyari, mag-gold tayo sa Olympics, mga ganyan, mabibigyan tayo ng pansin eh. Dahil, syempre, pagdating dyan sa mga sports na yan, bigatin ang dyan eh. Ang mga kalaban natin ng mga sports like basketball talaga kasi nga popular sa atin. Siguro tayo naman kasi is sa disiplina pa lang tayo ang number one makaka-achieve niyan dahil nga hindi naman for example sa atin track and field is individual event eh. Hindi mo pwedeng sisihin ng iba dahil ikaw ang nagdadala ng pangalan mo at yung sa larangan ng sports mo. Siyempre hindi mo sisisihin yan pag nagkamali ka, natalo ka. Sisisihin mo yan sarili mo dahil hindi mo ginawa ang dapat mong gawin. Siguro yun na lang ang discipline na attitude. Yan, matututunan din at makikita at mapapansin din na lang ng ibang bansa at ng mga ibang sports na ang athletics talagang mother sports talaga yan ng lahat eh.
Okay, ngayon nga ibig natin sabihin, of course, nasa sa atin bilang atleta kung ano yung attitude, disiplina, etc. Pero ang ibig kong, for example, lalagdagan ko lang ng konti, ika-clarify ko lang yung tanong. Bilang isang atleta ng national team, ano yung pangarap mo tungkol sa pag-promote ng athletics sa Pilipinas? Mas mo ba yung kasalukuyang sitwasyon or ano sa tingin mo pa yung pwede pa nating maidagdag na sa tingin mo pwede mong pangarapin? Yun. So para mas makita natin yung konteksto sa iyong pananaw bilang atleta, ano pa yung dapat nating gawin?
Siguro number one yan kasi advertisement eh. Dahil kung sa atin, kunyari manalo yung isa sa atin sa sa Olympic or major event ng sports, makikilala din ang athletics eh. Katulad nung sa gymnastics, si Yulo. Kita mo, 'di ba nag-boom agad ang gymnastics? Kasi doon lang pag meron tayong ganun, hindi tayo mabibehind eh. Dahil may advertisement talagang darating diyan. Kung sa akin lang naman is magandang i-promote talaga ang athletics dahil kuha na lahat eh ng sports.
Mm-hmm. Maraming salamat, Archand. Andrew?
Yeah, thanks for that, Ernell. I just went through my list of questions and just crossed off a couple of them. My first question to Archand is when he first made the national team, what were his goals before, and how happy is he with what he was able to achieve while he was a member of the national team before?
Again, Andrew?
Okay. The first part of my question was, when you first joined the national team, what was your goals? What did you want to be able to achieve when you first joined the national team?
My first goal when I started in national team is to bring an honor, any medal in the country.
Okay, so just to win medals for the country was the primary objective. Did you feel that when you were no longer part of the national team, do you feel that you could have achieved more, or there was more that you wanted to do in terms of your career? Was there other?
Maybe step by step. I think when I started coaching, like for me, Coach Enrique Candelario, he said to me, I can win, I can break a national record, and I trust him.
Okay. Okay. On that note, I recall a few years ago that I believe this was when I was in the PSC. I think it was about 7 years ago or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 5 years ago. It seems like yesterday, but it was actually 5 years ago. This how time flies. I recall at one stage there was plans for you guys to train in the United States. Do you feel that had that opportunity been for you guys to go and train in the United States, it would have quite helped a lot? Or
for me, training in States is a very big opportunity because many of athletes there is strong, and maybe I can they teach me a lot of techniques to running to improve my running ability.
Yep, cool. So can I ask, as a athlete, which people in sport? It can be either internationally or from Philippine sports or coaches or, or firstly, which people do you most admire or do you see as role models for you as a athlete?
For me, in the Philippines, I Coach Del Prado, who ran 45. Then
Yep.
in the States, maybe Usain Bolt.
Okay, so these are your idols. These are your idols. So, good idols. Coach Del Prado, who's the Philippine record holder in the 400, and Usain Bolt, who has the world record in the 1 and the 2. Okay, so if we have a look at these, these para games standards, obviously I spoke with Coach Buen earlier. He said that you've made the criteria for the T12, so no issues there. Just running by with you again, because I wasn't able to get the exact information. What times do you actually need to run to qualify for the 1, the 2, and the 4 to the Olympic Games?
I don't think so. The time exactly, but Coach Joel can.
He might know.
Yeah. Coach
Yeah,
Joel.
okay. I'll ask Coach Joel. Coach Joel, are you there at the moment? Could you perhaps, Coach?
Yes, Andrew, good afternoon.
Yeah, for the thanks for joining us, Coach Joel. So just for the public's information, Coach Joel is one of the coaches with the Spada, and also one of Bagsit's coaches at the moment. Now, Coach, my question was regarding the T12 for the Olympic Games next year. Do you happen to know the qualifying standards for the 1, the 2, and the 4?
Yes, the Tokyo Paralympic Committee already published what we call this the MQS, or the minimum qualifying standard for every event, particular event in para athletics. Archand Bagsit is we considered him as T12, but he will be officially classified as T12 after the classification, official classification. But as coaches, we see him as really a T12 athlete. For the T12, we only have two events for him for the Paralympic Games in Japan, in Tokyo, the 100 and the 400, because there is no 200-meter event in his class for Tokyo Paralympic Games. In the 100 meters, he needs to hit the MQS of 11.10, 11.10.
Yep.
And I'm very confident that he can make it.
Yep.
And in the 400, the MQS, or the minimum qualifying standard, is 50.40 for his class.
Yep. So those times are well within his reach, considering like what he has ran just a few years ago. Those are well within his reach. Now,
yes, of course. This is only the qualifying record, but if we are be lucky enough to qualify, players there are running sub 50s, so 48, 49.
Yep. Coach Boyd, I'm not sure if you were able to see the slides I had shown earlier, but what I was hoping, or I'm not sure if you'd know, but if you do, it would be great. In the last Olympic Games in 2016 in Rio, I had a look at the results of what the winning times were for the 1 and the 400. So we'll just disregard the 200 if it's not actually included. But like with the 100, it was 10.97, and the 400 was 48.67. Cuba and China were the athletes that won the 1 and the 4. I'm just wondering, do you have any updates on if these athletes ran those times at the Olympics? But obviously that was 4 years ago. Do you happen to know what the top athletes are running in Bagsit's events as of today?
When we competed last year in one of international competition in Paris, Grand Prix, there was this T12 running 100 meters in 10.8, something like that.
Okay.
10.80.
Do you happen to know about the 400 at this point?
As of now, I have no records yet, but
Okay.
I can make.
We may need to do some research into that. But yeah,
Yes,
so
yes,
like
of course.
yeah, so the Olympics, the guy from Cuba ran 10:97 and he ran 10:89 in the final in 2016. So the 10:8 is a slight
Yes.
like a slight improvement on that performance
Yes.
from 4 years back. Yeah, okay. Again, I guess this question is both to Bagsit and to Coach Joel. When are the next, like with the COVID, I guess it's a bit hard to figure out, but when are the next competitions for the when are the next competitions scheduled for the T12?
We are looking forward to compete in an official qualifying tournament to Tokyo Paralympic Games. We have at stake is 9 Grand Prix para athletics competitions, and these are all sanctioned by the IPC, International Paralympic Committee, World Para Athletics, because you must hit the NQS in a sanctioned competition, IPC competition, and we have 9 Grand Prix competitions to be held late this year and early next year, and two of which is in Asia, in Dubai and China, and the others in Europe and the US. So as of now, we're working for Bagsit to be licensed and to get his serial number as para athletics. I already submitted documentations, but because of the lockdown, we have some documents needed for him to sign. Because to be a licensed para athlete, you have to be to have we call this as SDMS, the serial number for international athletes, and we're working on it. And hopefully, if Archand will be available, he will be signing some documents so that the documents will push through, and he will get his serial number as international para athlete.
Can I interview now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, go on. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, sir, Bong.
All right. Ano lang, for the benefit of our listeners, we're talking about World Paralympic Games to differentiate from the Summer Olympic Games. But both, of course, will be held in Tokyo, one after the other. So, Archand, ilan taon ka na? How old are you now?
29 po.
29. Okay. So you said, Coach Joel, yung
Yes,
po T12 classification niya ng visual impairment, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
We have 3 classifications for visually impaired: the T11, T12, and T13. The T11 is the lower the number is the higher the disability. Like T11 is total blind.
Totally. This is T12, partial blindness.
Partially blind.
How partially blind? 30%, 20%?
They usually the ophthalmologists, the classifiers, it's like in layman's term, maybe 3 meters. Your clear vision is like 3 meters to 5 meters, and the T13 is up to 10 meters only. Then farther than that, really blurred. Yeah.
Farther away, hindi na talaga makakakita. Vision, kumbaga, mga fuzzy na.
Malabo na, yes.
Malabo na, okay. Archand, so sabi mo, inborn tong since childhood. So talaga, pero still, kung magandang you're an example for others, that in spite of your visual impairment, you've actually won a gold or several gold medals in the Southeast Asian Games as a regular athlete.
Yes.
Paano mo nagagawa yun? Yung bang, kumbaga, syempre, lalo na yun, di ba, sa mga, for example, sa 400, may kurbada yun eh. So,
Bali sa 400 naman po, pag individual event, hindi ko naman po sila iniintindi. Basta tumakbo lang po sa linya ko. Sa linya lang po.
O kasi, di ba, Coach Joel, di ba, pag baka mamamab. Kaya nga sinasaludo kami sa iyo. Ano yung course mo sa Letran, Archand?
Dati po akong financial management.
Alright.
Pero undergrad po, hindi po nakagraduate.
No problem. Pero yun nga, maganda na yung pinakita mo as a regular athlete. Ngayon, okay, again, to put it into context, anong personal best mo sa 100? PB mo sa 100?
Yung talagang personal best ko po sa 100 is 10.6.
10.6. So, pasok ka na dun sa MPS, Coach Joel, kung
Yes.
Sa
11-1.
400, sa 400, ano?
46.88 po.
46.88. Ang qualifying is 50.
50.40.
So, kumbaga, again, putting it in context, that we almost 3 to 4 seconds faster than the MQS. So, ngayon, paano niyo, sir, na-discover nga itong, para to, again, to give our listeners the background led to him now being a potential para athlete for the World Para Games, the Tokyo Olympics. Paano niyo po nalaman na ganun nga may visual impairment siya?
Siyempre, yung mga Paralympic athletes and regular athletes, isang ano lang naman sa ultra, no, when we train. And I always see him. I was looking at him, and alam ko, marami nagsabi sa akin na he's a may visually impaired athlete, but he's with the regular athletics, no? Siyempre, pag ikaw andun ka pa sa regular, siyempre, ang aim mo, ang goal mo is for the regular. Before kasi, when we say Paralympic athletics, parang ang tingin ng iba is just for fun or for disabled athletes. But I would like to, gusto ko rin malaman ng lahat, no? Paralympic athletics, para athletics is hindi lang basta-basta fun games, no? These are competitions talaga. In fact, there are some athletes with disability na mas malakas pa yung time nila sa mga regular athletes. So, pag pumunta sa international competitions, nakikita mo talaga na talagang malalakas talaga. Actually, ito si Armand, nakakausap ko na siya before, but nung nasa regular, of course, I respect him. He's as a regular athlete, no? Kinakausap ko na siya na pwede ka sa amin kasi tinatanong ko na yung kanyang disability. Sabi nga lang niya, kasi T12 athlete, hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi mo makikita yung lanes. No? T12 athlete, nakikita yung lanes, pero like yung tao, nakikita din, pero hindi mo siya makikilala. So, ganon si Archand. No? Hindi siya makilala pag medyo malayo na, wala na talaga, blurred na, pero makikita niya, yung makikilala niya ang athlete dahil sa sa mga suot or sa boses pag medyo malayo na. So, talagang T12, in fact, napa-classify na namin siya before sa isang international classifier, yung meron kami National Para Games, and naman siya as visually impaired, no? So, doon namin siya nakita ko yung time niya, ito magiging isang advantage sa atin, no? Kasi other countries, nakita yung mga athletes nila, mga former regular athletes din, na nakita, yun ang disadvantage ng Philippines, na yung mga athletes natin, galing we teach them to run. Hindi sila mga dating atleta. We teach them to run, to do athletics. Doon lang sila nag-start. So, disadvantage yun para sa atin. Samantalang yung ibang countries talagang galing talaga sila sa athletics. Now, nakita ko si kay Archand, and we're lucky na meron tayong ganun na atleta na galing ngayon sa regular. At yun ang magiging advantage natin. And I hope everything will be okay para yung eligibility niya for the Paralympics. But talagang mataas ang namin kasi naman siya sa international classifier as visually impaired. So yun, nung kinausap ko siya, and there was nung time na nagbago na ng lineup yung national team at his unfortunately hindi siya na dun sa regular, no? Inofferan ko na talaga siya, and kasi sabi ko sa kanya, nandiyan ka sa regular, meron namang talagang na para sa iyo din, na pare-parehas kayo ng vision ng mga counterparts mo, and this Paralympics is talagang mataas din ng level. So sinubukan niya at nakita naman niya na maganda rin yung program, and talagang fit for him, no? And hopefully magtuloy-tuloy na.
Yes, sir. Just to give context to what we're discussing, ang nanalo sa Rio Paralympic Games, ang time niya is 10:99, pero yung silver and yung sabi nga niya, yung bronze medal, sabi kanina, yung personal best ni Archand is 11:10. Ang bronze medal is 11.
MQS yung 11:10. Actually 10.6 si Archand ang personal best niya.
Okay. 10.6. So kaya how siya contender for the gold in that particular.
So we must also consider that was before yung talagang prime time niya as regular athlete.
Yes, sir. Kaya nga, sir. Pero I mean, given also
possible talagang mataas na possibility.
Contender talaga siya given that.
Yes.
Tapos pa ba sa 400, I think Andrew is also, wait a minute. 200.
He's running below 47 before the personal best niya.
Yes. So for the 400 in the
T12 is.
Yes, sandali lang, sir. We're trying to look at the figures.
48.67 is from last.
Okay. Yeah. So in other words, as you said, Andrew, he's a very strong contender in the 100 and the 400 as well. So that's something that we really have to work on and fully end.
Yeah, I understand that, and I agree with Coach Joel that the 46.88 was quite some time ago. That was 2014 or 2015. But looking at times, there's quite a lot of it's almost 2 seconds from what the gold was in 2016. But again, that was at the 2016 Olympics, so I need to see what the other times are of the athletes actually ran since then.
But the good thing here is the one who will be handling him today is my coach, because I have a set of coaches. Coach Ernie Candelario din ang hahawak sa kanya kasi si Coach Ernie ngayon is nasa Paralympic movement na rin. So yun ang maganda doon kasi Coach Ernie din ang humahawak sa kanya ngayon. So yun rin yung sabi niya, isa sa mga well-respected coach natin for the 400. Yun ang maganda rin doon.
Di ba, Coach Joe, ang best finish lang natin yata for since nandiyan na kayo for a long time sa Paralympic, National Paralympic.
It's bronze,
Di ba? Since yun pa. Matagal na alam ko
We have 2 medals for Paralympic Games, other sports. Isang powerlifting bronze medal, that was year 2000. And then last Brazil, sa Rio, yung ating table tennis nag-bronze din. So 2 bronze medal lang for Paralympic Games.
Hindi pa rin di ba? So far wala pa siya hindi pa nananalo sa Rio, hindi siya nakapag-medal ba? If you si Gawilan. Hindi
Si Gawilan, hindi po kasi ang maganda naman yung kay Ernie kung let's talk about swimming, no. Yung kay Ernie kasi yung world swimming world para swimming ng bagong classification. He was classified before as ang sa kanila is S7 sa disability niya. Sabi ko nga the lower the number, the higher the disability. Sa ni-require sila for another classification ulit. bumaba yung classification niya from S6 naging S7 siya. So ang magiging kalaban niya mas higher disability. Kaya nung nag-Asian Games, marami siyang nakuha ang gold medal dahil dun sa isang ano na yun, no, na bumaba yung classification ni Ernie Gawilan from S7 to S6. Although marami rin namang bumaba, pero during the Rio Paralympic Games, hindi naman siya nag-finalist doon si Ernie. Pero ngayon malaking chance na mag-finalist siya o baka mag-medal pa din.
Balik tayo kay Archand.
Yes.
Archand, given yung mga personal best mo within medal contender.
Yes.
So ngayon, nakakapag-train ka pa rin ba at the moment?
Bali sa ngayon po, dito lang po ako sa bahay. Gumagawa din po ng mga workout na kung ano po yung dati pwedeng i-alternate na pwedeng ipag-workout, ayun po ginagawa ko.
Just magtanong lang, saan exactly sa bahay? Sa Kalakatira?
Bali dito po ako sa Manila, sa Sampaloc po.
Okay.
For your information pala, sir,
Yes, sir.
Ngayon, we requested to the Philippine Sports Commission kasi para dun sa mga potential Olympics and Paralympic qualifiers natin to start training and give them the venues for training venues, no? Andun na po yung request natin kasi sinabi na rin ng PSC na lahat yung mga potential qualifiers nyo, i-request nyo para baka magawa ng paraan na they will be accommodated sa mga training venues. So, kasama si Archand sa ni-request ko po doon para mabigyan ng training venue ng ang Philippine Sports Commission. Both the Olympics and the Paralympics kasi.
Regarding that, I heard that the new, well, not so new, but now reinstated executive director, Tony Roy, is he was been put in charge of preparing the list of athletes that will be that will be given the special privilege of training who are going to the Olympics or likely to qualify for the Olympics. I mean, has Archand been included within that list?
Yes. I said it before a while ago. He was included in the list.
Yeah, because I think Roy just recently was reinstated with the job of executive director. So I firmly believe that Attorney Roy, someone that I admire in the PSC, will promptly act to help the athletes if in this situation. But he's just came back into the job, so I think that he'll be easier to deal with.
Yes, I already submitted my recommendations to our chef de mission for the Tokyo Paralympic Games, and they will be the ones who will forward it to Philippine Sports Commission.
Yeah, I even invited him to this. I even invited Attorney Roy to this webinar, but he maybe he's busy with his coming back in as the executive director. But I'm pretty sure he may watch the replay of this or may read some of our articles in regards to Bagsit.
Yeah. I think he has no idea yet about how potential Bagsit is, because we haven't told them about Bagsit yet, the PSC.
Do you have any other athletes in Paralympics besides Bagsit who are very likely to qualify in athletics?
Yes, actually, I recommended 7 athletes to join to participate in qualifying tournaments.
First thing is 7 track and field athletes. Who are they?
Yes,
The record.
sa ngayon, yung new athletes ko, si Bagsit, si Rowell Galvero, kasi ganun din siya, meron, is a long distance athlete. T13 naman yon. And then another visually impaired coming from Palarong Pambansa, gold medalist ng Palarong Pambansa, Jonas, no? Jolan Camacho, for the long jump, no? He's jumping 6.20 at 6.20 ngayon. Sa ang ano niya is 6:30 ang MQS, so reachable naman. And then yung apat na dating athletes for Paralympics, dalawang wheelchair athletes, isang high jumper ko na one-legged high jumper, at saka isang arm amputee na sprinter din. So recommendations lang ito, yung iba doon, yung near lang na ma-hit nila yung MQS, no? Yung isa doon, yung isang javelin thrower ko na wheelchair, na-hit niya na yung MQS for javelin throw. At saka ito nga si Archand, parang malakas possibility na ma-hit niya. The others, ano lang, medyo ano lang, slightly below the MQS.
So, pagkatapos ito, tingin po ng number na telephone number, Coach Joel.
Kanino po? Sa akin?
Okay.
Okay, sir. No problem.
So, Coach Joe, again for the record. So there are, besides Archand, there are 6 other athletes,
yes.
Track and field athletes that you want so you think are capable of meeting the
they're part of my request. I requested 7 athletes to access training venues.
Yes, sir. So that's para at least mamaya, if we can talk about them later.
Yes.
We can also write about them para ano. So, Archand, balik tayo sa iyo. 2 events, 2 possible medal contenders. Excited ka ba at the prospect? Kasi hindi pa tayo nanalo ng gold sa World Para Games. Excited ka ba doon na ma-achieve mo yon na on behalf of the country? And yung mga, of course, iba yung feeling kasi naging gold medalist kami sa SEA Games eh. Pero ito, gold medalist in the Para Games. Anong mo? Feeling mo pag yun ang inupuntirya mo?
Bali, para sa akin po, sabi nga po ni Coach Joel, baka ito na yung turning point ko ng buhay ko. Kasi, siyempre, Olympic na yan eh. Ibang usapan na yan. Hindi na yan SEA Games, hindi na yan Asian Games, Olympic eh. Para sa akin, malaking opportunity po yan eh. Kaya, siguro, gagawin ko po yung best ko ulit na maibalik ko yung lakas ko na at makamit kung maka ano po ng medal na kahit kung maka gold, malaking bagay po 'yun. Kasi siyempre hindi lang sabihin natin ano po gold pa rin 'yan dahil Olympic pa rin 'yan eh.
Of course, sabi mo nga turning point overnight maging mababalik yung now. Meron pa bang trabaho ngayon at the moment, Archand?
Wala po kasi talagang ako po kasi pag naging athlete po ko, katulad po ng dating regular athlete po ko, pag ano po ko, athlete, talagang full-time po ako. Ginagawa ko talagang full-time. Kasi para focus lang po, wala po inintindi na iba.
Okay.
Yun po.
Okay, so full-time ka pala ngayon. Pero married ka na ba? Meron ka ng family? Or something?
Bali, hindi pa po, pero may anak na po ko at nandito din, kasama ko din po yung wife ko na sa ngayon.
So, paano kayo namumuhay ngayon?
Bali yung wife ko po siya ang nag-work, tapos ako po dito po nagti-training, tapos minsan hinahatid sundo ko po siya. Bali ako po yung kasama ko po yung father ko, hinahatid sundo po namin siya.
Buti naman. Kumbaga,
kasi po mahirap na po kasi ngayon dahil pandemic nga po, mahirap po lumabas.
Nag-work ng wife mo? Saan siya nag-work?
Opo. Bali sa immigration po.
Okay. Tinamaan din ngayon lately. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Okay. Gentlemen, you may have other questions as well.
Yeah. Okay. So this question is again to Archand. My query is with your training, it seems that like within Ernie's group there are some other good 400-meter runners. For you as an athlete, how important do you think it is to have strong sparring partners and training when it comes to getting through those hard workouts?
As of now, in my workout is limited because I did not use any facility like the gym or oval. I cannot run for my specific workout. But for me, as an athlete, as a para athlete and other competitors, the other competitor is very strong. It's like regular athletes. They run also 49 to 48 below. That's not that's a big challenges for me.
What I'm meaning to say, Archand, is when you actually can get back to the track and you're preparing and you have your teammates training with you, I mean, I'm not sure, but I can guess that you do have some guys who you can train with who run, like 48 and 49. Like I don't know, like Ericito. I'm not sure about Big Yarn and all these guys. That. Do you think that would help quite a bit, wouldn't it? Having guys in your training that can run 48.
Yes, yes, of course. They big help for me because I can challenge the workout. Also, we have a competing in training. That's why I can see the level of my running. Where am I right now?
In your own opinion, what, like when say for example, if you're aiming for the 1 and the 4, let's take the 400 for example. If you start preparing and you've got time to prepare for the 4 and then you go into the Olympics, what do you reckon you can run, like in terms of time?
Maybe I'm gonna focus again in 400 because in 400 I got a big chance there. Then in the 100, maybe I just focus on only in the start. But I need to work on hard for the speed endurance and lactic endurance in 400.
Do you still feel you have the capacity to run under 48? If given the work?
We'll see. When I'm gonna work out in oval when I start. As of now, I can assure that I can run 50.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Thanks for that. Ernell, have you got any more queries?
No more.
So that's all, Andrew. I guess I covered most of the questions. Mr. Bong, do you have other questions for Archand?
We hope that he really is reinstated as a member of the National Paralympic Athletics team by the Philippine Sports Commission, and also on the same token, considering that he is also trained, will now train for the Tokyo Games. He also gets an allowance. Malaking bagay din yun sa kanya if he gets an allowance. Diba sir, no? Coach Joel, pag member ka rin ng makaka-receive ka rin ng allowance pag na officially member ka ng athletics.
Actually, lahat naman sila ngayon na kasi before I have a original number ko ng national team nung wala pa sila Archand is 16 athletes, no. Then we're supposed to host the ASEAN Para Games. So this nag-triple pa from 16 naging meron akong 47 athletes.
Okay.
And nagdagdag din ako ng coaches. In fact, I have a lot, 20 coaches now under me. Kasi so para athletics, there are a lot of classifications. In 100, there are a lot. We have the blind, we have the wheelchair. So iba talaga ng marami. So I need plenty guides and coaches. And this I have total of 67 for my team. In my team, 20 coaches, trainers, guides, and then 47 athletes. These lahat ito supported by PSC. They are given allowances. Although sila they start from zero. Yung sa allowance nila, yung new athletes, yung allowance nila. But all of us are all supported by the Philippine Sports Commission in terms of allowances.
Kaya nga sir, pag naging member na rin po si Archand, at least, ngayon hindi ka na member ng national pool no? Archand?
Hindi na po. Sa regular,
Yeah.
hindi na po. But,
But he's a member of the Para Games.
Kaya nga, for
Para
the
Games National.
kaya nga pag naano na siya, at least makakaano na rin siya ulit.
Yes, the same lang naman ang allowances ngayon for regular and Para Games.
Kasama na pala siya sir for the
Kasama siya ngayon, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
So, meron na rin na siya. Every little bit helps kasi.
Yes.
That's about it, sir.
Although nag-ano lang sir yung PSC ngayon dahil sa pandemic, na lahat ginawa 50%, no? Pero ang malaking bagay na meron pa ring support kahit paano. Yes.
So, Andrew and Coach Arniel, thank you very much for inviting me. To go there.
You're much welcome, Sir Bong. Again, thank you for this serve as the end of our part 1 of our discussion for Track Talk Thursdays here in Pinoyathletics. So we would like to thank our aspiring Paralympian, Archand Bagsit, and also Coach Joel Deriada for joining us. And also, Andrew, of course, we will continue with our updates once we are done with our wrap-up. So thank you again for everyone who joined us because the second part will be just only news feed. So you can leave once we're done for the first part. So, Andrew?
Yep.
And,
yeah. So I do appreciate that everybody's given an hour of their time today to talk to us at Pinoyathletics. I will now proceed with news feeds. Obviously, if everyone else has other things to do now,
so
we won't be in any way offended if people.
So we won't take much of your time. So you can leave at your own convenience. So thank you again, Coach Joel.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Andrew, Arniel, and Bong for allowing the Paralympic movement to be aired also, no? To give also information to others that we have Paralympic team here, and maraming salamat talaga sa program nyo, and keep up. Thank you very much.
The way I see it, Coach Joel, is that let's say, for example, if we only get 1 or 2 athletes qualified for their athletics, I mean, rest assured, it's in my view, it's it comes as a relief that we have possibly up to 7 athletes in the Paralympics that can qualify as well. And the way I see it, I mean, when I look at the Paralympics category, I don't really see the disabilities. What I see is just athletes who want to compete at at a high level. That's how I see it. I don't really see them for the disability. I see it as athletes who want to go to the Olympics.
Yes, that's the same thing with me. Yes,
thank you, sir.
With me. That's why I hope you don't mind, Coach Joel. I call athletes of Paralympics as super athletes, and also that disabled but differently abled, meaning they can basics of the sport. So because when I volunteered in the 2005 Para Games, this is what the organizers implied us: don't call athletes who are competing in Para Games as athletes with disability, but instead differently abled.
Yes, so, we share the same vision with the same for them. We share. Talagang. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, Sir Bong.
Message. Anyway, I'll leave.
Yes, just message me, Sir Bong.
I'll give you my number. Text mo na lang ako. Dun sa message
Yes, sir.
dito. Dun sa chat
Okay.
na. And then we can, because I'm really interested in this kasi this is exciting. We have a potential gold medalist, double gold medalist, not only in one, but two
Yes.
events in the World Para Games. Eh, magaling. Sabi nga ni Coach ni Archand talagang ito may be the turning point of his career, turning point also of his life if he succeeds in scoring golden double. Kaya hopefully makasama. I mean, like, ultimately naman kayo naman sir sa National Paralympic Committee. Yan ang tawag sa inyo ngayon Di ba Sir
Yes.
Joel?
The official name is the National Paralympic Committee Philippines,
Yeah.
NPC or NPC Philippines.
Yes. Hopefully, Yes, sir. Ano lang po dito sa chat message.
Yes, I got your number, Bong. I will text you.
All right. Thank you. And God bless all of you. Be safe and well
Yeah.
wherever.
Thank you. Good luck, Andrew. Good luck, Ernel. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bong.
Thanks, Coach.
And my update, Archand, will see you soon.
See you soon, Coach.
Okay.
Ingat po.
Yes,
Ingat po
yes.
kayo.
Okay.
Okay. Just continue training.
Apo.
Yes, so since our
At-
so that
His
ends our
training is
first part.
monitored naman.
Yeah.
His training is monitored by Ernie, by other coaches through virtual.
Yeah, like I spoke with Ernie earlier, and when we were discussing some things, and Ernie humbly said that like he said, well, all of us coaches and Phil Spada work together as one, so
Yes, that's true. That's
we
true.
all help each other out. It's not so much,
Yeah.
he wasn't really saying I'm the one coaching Archand or anything like that. He's saying that all the coaches equally are helping each other, working towards one sort of goal.
Yes, that's true. And again, thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah, okay. And thank you for joining us for the first part of our Talk Talk this afternoon. Maraming salamat po. Take care and God bless.
Okay,
Thank you rin.
Okay.
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Archand, if you're done, yeah, okay na. Pwede na kasi
Okay.
part 2 na
Thank
kami
you.
ng podcast. Okay,
Okay.
salamat. Okay, Andrew, so we're back for the second part of our
Yeah,
track.
so just a quick wrap up there. I think, we should, with Phil Spada, which is,
Yes.
I believe, the name of the association that deals with differently abled athletes in the Philippines. It's interesting. We found new information that there are actually 6 athletes who have a good chance of qualifying apart from Archand. So I'll probably get the list from Bong or from Coach Joel. So we can have
Joel, yeah.
Yeah, because it's very interesting to follow. Like seeing rallying support behind these athletes and seeing how much, like some 6:20 to 6:30. That that's not very far, and they've got 6 months or so to 6-7 months or more to actually hit that standard. 10 centimeters in 6 or 7 months in the long jump. That's very doable if the athlete's being coached really well. That is possible. I honestly, I know that they don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I honestly believe with Archand, he's capable of running a lot quicker than 50. He is even now still, I believe, because he'll have strong training partners in that group that he's with, like even Ericito, 49, and then there's other guys in that group who are possibly running 48s and 49s that he can train with. So he has the the environment where he can, if he really wants, he can really. I'm not saying that he's going to get back to 46 because that was a long time ago. But what I'm saying is I strongly believe the guy can even go under 48 if he really wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we'll move to the second part. Thanks for facilitating this. If we'll just move to the second part and just maybe skip past the first 2 slides. which are on Archand, as we've covered that topic, and now we will be advertising on August the 17th. Very own EJ Obiena from the Philippines will be participating at a virtual virtual online meet with two other top world athletes. One of them is a Polish pole vaulter who was a medalist at the World Championships with a 590 meter PB. The other guy from the US is a younger pole vaulter who's jumped 580, and also EJ who's jumped 581. Yeah, so these three are having a backyard competition, and you know, we are Pinoyathletics is going to be live streaming this competition as their official media partner. We will be live streaming this competition on August the 17th. So we have a quick video here which just explains the event. Okay, it doesn't. Okay.
Let me see if I can play.
Yep. Ooh, it doesn't seem to be playing. Okay. We'll go back a screen. I'll go back a couple of screens.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. So this is a quick video on this event on August the 17th, which will be live streamed via Pinoyathletics. Okay, here we go. Yep, so this is the Polish guy who jumps 590. And very own EJ Obiena, and the USA indoor champion. So who is the finest pole vaulter in the world out of these three guys? Okay, next slide. I think there's another one on EJ. So yeah, don't miss out on the action with Ernest John Obiena. These are some competitions he has coming up. On August 14, he has the Monaco Diamond League. I just talked to EJ. I verified if he was still going to be participating, and he said he was. And on the 17th of August, who is the best pole vaulter? The online challenge, live streamed exclusively on Pinoyathletics. Some facts here: 21 of 32 athletes have hit the Olympic standard of 580 in the men's pole vault. So that means, you know, EJ is safely through to the Olympics because he's hit the standard. So, you know, he's definitely going. You know, hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, the Olympics does push through. That's the only way he cannot be at the Olympics, is if it doesn't happen. But, you know, the Olympics pushes through, there's no way he could be disqualified or displaced from participating. So we are going to be streaming this August 17 challenge on the Pinoyathletics page, the exclusive media partner of the event, facebook.com/Pinoyathletics. Okay, so we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so yeah, so that's all for the EJ section. So yeah, so the next part is on Natalie Rose Owai. We would like to say a special thank you to Manolio Boncadralves of Malaya newspaper for writing up about our interview with Natalie Owai. So this is the link, malaya.com.ph. It's quite a long link. You might want to print screen it, or you can just type in malaya.com Natalie Owai and then today's date on Google. You'll be able to find the article. So with Natalie's event, 19 of 32 women have qualified in the pole vault, or I think, no, sorry, that's incorrect. 17, it's a bit of a typo. 17 of 32 women have qualified with a 470 meter or higher jump. The remaining qualification is November 30 to June 7 for those who haven't met the standard yet. So we'll head to the next slide.
Okay.
Yep.
1 moment.
And I think it's like this one might be to do with the PSC, which I was explaining before. I think, or not. Yep.
Yeah.
So like now, the recent news with the PSC is that the sheriff has returned. The attorney Guillermo Eroy has now returned as the PSC executive director of the PSC. I believe he has been the executive director. This is his third run as the PSC executive director. But rest assured, I believe that he is, like the right man for the job. And, with all the things that there are right now in Philippine sport and the PSC, I strongly believe that the guy will do his utmost best to, improve the situation of Philippine sport.
Yes, buddy, exactly. So we send our regards to Attorney Eloy as being executive director of the Philippine Sports Commission.
He's having worked for the PSC, he's always been, someone I've admired as a sort of, fair man. Like, I mean, of course, I got told off by him several times in the PSC. Like, I got towed back into line, but, sometimes somebody has to tow people back into line, when they sort of step out of line. So, I believe that he's a fair man who really has the best interests of the athletes at heart. And, I wish him well in, his third run as the PSC executive director. Okay. Yep, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so again, this is just wrapping it up. We had our, I've been having my runs, my, my coaching stuff going on. So, like, these are the three athletes I'm working with, two from the US, one from Cavite. I sent this information to one of my former coaches in Australia, and he believes that the first athlete listed here, Terence, is capable of running 22.5. Take into account that all these times listed for the 300 meters from the 42.1, 43.7, 36.9 moving right. All these times are for 300 meters, and they were all done in rubber shoes. So they didn't even use spikes for any of this. So like my former coach believes Terence is capable of 22.5 to 22.9. The other boy, Ronald, he had a PB of 12.4. He ran 6.300s, and then after that he put the spikes on, got times for 100 and equaled his PB. This training session where you run 6.300s, even though you've got 8 minutes in between, broken in between half the set, this is no walk in the park. This workout. I mean, I tried doing, when I was coaching in Zamboanga before, I tried doing this workout and I finished it, but I was gasping for air afterwards, and only one other athlete out of about 6 or 7 athletes was able to actually finish this workout. So it's a tough workout. So imagine you run 6.300s and then you equal pretty much your PB afterwards for the 100. That means that you're not even fresh, and there's a lot of room for improvement there. The other athlete from Cavite, I mean, he went absolutely nuts on the first 300, but he'll learn the lesson that every second of rest that you have on your program is there, and it's required, and it's there for a reason. The athlete's really keen, really keen. He's got quite a bit of speed, because 36.9 and spikes, that's like 36.2. 36.9 and spikes is like running 36.2 in rubber shoes, which is like a sub 23 200. But he only, as you can see, he only had 1 minute rest in between, whereas the other boys followed the 3 minute sequence. So he really tired himself out pretty quickly and wasn't able to finish the workout. But, for me, it may be that he hasn't had a coach yet who's actually been teaching him about rest and recovery and about the importance of pacing and that sort of thing. So, I said to him, I'll be a bit patient and give him, he's going to get a chance, because, he's got other, I'm focusing on his positive attributes, and there are things that, a work in progress. A lot of work needs to be done, but he is like a very potential athlete, and he just needs to learn a few things that he hasn't picked up yet. But I'm very confident that I can mold him into, like into improving some of his weaknesses in terms of training.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have one more slide. Yeah, so the boys, Ronald and Terence, they both achieved their PB. So yeah, this is just a photo. I think this is a photo of Ronald after the training, after doing the 300s, obviously a little bit tired, reflecting, saying that, but like, again, after finishing these 300s, has a very positive outlook, very positive attitude towards moving forward in terms of performance and training. So, yeah, so it's a blessing to be able to coach athletes who really believe and follow the program, and I was going to say trust the process, but it would be a bit of a cliche. But like athletes that can, they're it's good to actually see how they're progressing, from the work that's being done. Okay, I think, is there another slide, or that might be it actually? I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Okay. Would you like to add some? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the last question. This is the last slide. So the question as a coach, my question goes out to all coaches out there. I posted this earlier. I was discussing this with another coach earlier today regarding webinars and that sort of thing. So the question of the coach, these three elements, what order do you rank them? Safety of athletes, improvement of athletes, and enjoyment and fun, enjoyment of athletes and training. What order would you put these three? This is a very tough question. I mean, it's I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here. Well, two of them are probably interchangeable. One of them is probably more important, but the other two are sort of almost interchangeable. It's a really difficult one. But yeah, so this is a question posed to coaches and aspiring coaches. How do you rank these three? And this isn't the order that I've put them in. This is just a random order, and even I struggle with this answer sometimes.
Sorry, buddy.
I was just saying that, like, this is not the order which I think. This is like the order that I've put them in. This is just a random order. So I'm just saying that this is the question to coaches. Which of these three elements do you rank? How do you rank these three elements of coaching? Safety, improvement of athletes, and enjoyment. So from number 1 to number 3. So that's just a question to coaches and aspiring coaches.
Yeah, so I believe that, of course, in my opinion, that at least if you're training young children, the most important first is safety, then the enjoyment, and then improvement will follow. Because
I think
Yes, buddy.
I agree on that as well. I believe that safety comes first, then fun, then improvement. And I believe that that's not just for young children. I believe that's also up to the more elite levels. But the thing is that there are some there are some things that kind of overlap, and there are some other circumstances. So say, for example, you can be like, when it comes to coaching athletes, and this is what I learned from working with Athletics Australia, the safety of the athletes to some extent can compromise the fun. Because, like, let's say, for example, if you've got kids playing around and they're playing running games, and and it's inevitable when you play some running games that you might fall over. Or, for example, if like, say, for example, you're doing mini hurdles or hurdles, you might accidentally trip and fall over a hurdle. So sometimes, the only solution, it's either, in some sports, it's, there is an element of risk which has to be managed, but at the same time, you could basically tell the kid, oh, you're not doing that anymore, you can't do that, we're not doing hurdles anymore, and then that kind of wrecks the fun. So, like, and there are overlapping aspects. The same with improvement and fun. Like, sometimes training for older athletes, sometimes it's not enjoyable, sometimes it's very grueling, or it's hard, especially when you're working out and you're throwing up sometimes, or you're getting lactic, or like there's as an older athlete, sometimes it isn't fun. But so that's an overlapping part of improvement with fun, is that sometimes training isn't fun, sometimes it is. Then sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's grueling, sometimes it's sweat, but then sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, buddy, continue.
I think that's all my slides. If you want to add anything, or you've got some more things to discuss.
Yeah, so far I think as here, of course, in the context of European athletics, of course, where I'm right now. So far they already this July they have the competitions, and I think on next weekend it will be Budapest Open, and then at the same time, also other competitions in Germany are also ongoing, and on second week of August will be the Hungarian National Championships, which I will personally watch. And yeah, so most things are getting back to normal. But of course, as far as Philippine context is concerned, as I mentioned, my forecast that if the infection won't be mitigated or won't be really addressed on a very responsive way, I see that of course in 2020 be opening the athletics given the situation in the Philippines.
Yeah,
So
I
of
would.
course our hopes and prayers for all the people in our country, that we hope that you're safe, and also those who are quote unquote infected by the disease, that you recover soon. Our thoughts and prayers to everyone, and we hope, like to request our fellow athletes to stay alert and always practice all the safety measures of distancing, disinfection, and of course, always make sure to monitor also your health status.
Yeah, so like in Australia, the news is that some people who went into commercial gyms have been infected with the COVID. So, gyms were closed for several months, and now they've opened again, and now like lots of restrictions are coming in place because the people obviously got infected in COVID in commercial gyms, so that's sort of being restricted. A lot of athletes are not training at the moment. There's a lot of groups who are not training, but at the same time, they're having some competitions in Australia, winter meets with, with new normal procedures in place to protect from the COVID, such as athletes running events one lane apart in straight races, and then in 800 type races, they're running in separate lanes in circular races to ensure there's some distancing in regards to keeping, COVID safe.
Yeah, exactly. So we hope that, of course, everything will be better. And then at least I think for the GCQ areas, that fitness gyms are already started to be open, but with 30% capacity only.
Is that in Europe or is that in
the Philippines? I heard that, for example, the IFBB Philippines, or International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness, already lobbied with the Department of Trade and Industry to consider that fitness gyms, with all the safety measures, that they will be open on a 30% capacity. And I think they have the order now on starting 1st of August. Some fitness gyms will be open.
The concern with gyms in the Philippines, in Australia, sorry, like the one I go to, Anytime Fitness, that's a 24/7 gym, meaning it's open, like it never closes, It's open the whole day. But the problem is that especially during the night, if somebody wants to do a workout at 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean, I've gone for workouts at 12 o'clock at night and finished at 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning because, that time I have the whole gym to myself pretty much. No worries about people like sort of hogging the equipment and that sort of thing. But, like the problem with that is there's no attendance at those times. So there's not really anyone to enforce COVID safety, hygiene, like practices are being kept in place because there's no attendance at long periods of time. So I think that the health authorities are most concerned about the 24/7 type gyms.
Exactly. So we hope that, of course, all safety measures will be followed, and as possible, of course, we can only hope.
And I believe the other thing is with schools is that a lot of them are heading into online classes next month.
Yes. I hope that it's better. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, you're a little bit choppy.
Yes.
I'm
Sorry.
just
Yes. I'm saying that next few weeks in August we will be trying to find the schedule of our Olympian diver, 2005 SEA Games gold medalist, Sheila May Perez, originally from Davao City and currently working with the Philippine Coast Guard as our guest. So she has
Yeah.
a very inspiring story on how she got
Yeah.
involved into the sport of diving. So watch out for that in the next edition of Track Talk here in
Yeah.
Six. Yes, buddy.
And another special guest that I'm trying to secure at the moment is another former Philippine track and field athlete, another current national record holder, and he's won 7 medals in the SEA Games, and like most of those medals, none of those medals were gold until he moved over to obstacle course racing. So we will be looking at having Mervyn Guate as one of our guests, the 2019 champion in SEA Games OCR, obstacle course racing.
Okay, we have some comments. Shout out to our dean, the former dean of the UP College of Human Kinetics and the sport director of the Lyceum of the Philippines University in Manila, Professor Hercules Calianta, which I read. Thank you, Sir Herc, for your points of view. Greatly appreciated. Which I quote, in my opinion, I rank first the safety of the athletes side by side with the enjoyment. Improvement of team comes with last and will automatically come, which we agree on. And then his second statement is, I believe that in training, because the coach is the one who shapes the training environment, he can minimize the risk as needed without sacrificing in training.
Yeah, that's when good coaching comes into play because, for example, when we were coaching kids athletics in Australia, we go to schools and we coach kids in schools, and we're given the venue to train at. Like, for example, the teachers or the principal or whoever give us a training, whatever's available. So if it's raining, obviously that we need a covered area because getting wet or slipping over or that sort of thing. So one time we did that, and the only place we were able to train was in the gym. And we did a game where kids were running around, and they were doing a tag game or something, and two kids ran straight into each other. And the thing is that what the Athletics Australia or the official who was with us said was, sometimes he told the teacher, because the teacher was really freaking out about it, sometimes there is an element of risk in sport, obviously there's some bumps and some bruises and that sort of thing, but the only alternative to this is possibly not allowing them to participate, which would kind of like ruin the enjoyment of the actual play.
Yes, of course, as confirmed with from Dean Hercules Calianta, fitness gyms will be open in GCQ areas beginning of August 1st. We'd like also to shout out our
Sorry. Sorry, you just cut out then again. I just have to run that last part by me again about the shout out. Okay. Okay. I will just wait for Urnell to be logged back in. It seems there's a little bit of connectivity issues on his end. We'll just wait. I'll just wait for him to rejoin us, and we will continue. I'm just going to have a quick look at Facebook to see who else we have commenting on our chat. And oh yeah, so okay.
Again.
Sorry, Urnell, you were cut off then. Could you just repeat the shout out you were going to announce after Dean?
Yes.
After
Also, thank Lars Anderson. I believe he's from Denmark, from Play the Game
Yep.
group, and also Maria Mirasol Sunga of Pampanga, the great triple jumper Ninoy Maraya, Edward Obiena, of course Anthony Manayaw, Charles Don Di Colen, of course.
Oh, I think we've been disconned again. Hang on. Sorry, you just cut out there again, man. I can see we have a lot of people tuning in. Hello. Back in, it seems there's a little bit of connectivity issues.
Yes. I think so far we covered quite a few now. Also, yes, Andrew, thank you for joining us here also on Facebook Live. Yeah. So anything else? Because I think we already covered everything for today.
That's all for today. Thanks, facilitator.
Yeah, we will cut now on Facebook Live, and then we can continue talk on Zoom. Okay.
Yep. So we're going off the air.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and see you next Tuesday. Philippine time for another edition of Track Talk with me, Erna Labara, University of the Physical Education, Budapest, Hungary, and of course, Andrew Perry, Level 3 Australian Track and Field Coaches Association coach. Thank you for joining us. Take care. God bless. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.